So let's have a talk. I have no intention of calling out anyone in particular. I'm not specifically calling anyone out. I am not trying to start drama or cause issues with specific people. The point of me making this video is to kind of give a voice to the people who don't have a platform, who want to say a few things to the people that do have platforms. If this video doesn't get too many views, or it's not as popular, or isn't get shared or whatever, I don't really care. I'm making this video to make a point, to say what needs to be said, to say what certain people are thinking. That's it. Take it as you will. Gross. When it comes to the J fashion communities, there are issues. There's always going to be issues when you have a community of people, especially when they're in a niche fashion like J fashion or kawaii fashion. I mean, there's even issues in the punk community or in the goth community. There's going to be issues. There's going to be those people. What I want to talk about, the POC influencers that we have representing a lot of us in the kawaii and J fashion community. When it comes to having influencers in these communities, I don't know about you guys, but I can definitely think of maybe 10 or so offhand, off the top of my head, POC Black influencers in the J fashion community, or who are considered, in the J fashion community, alt fashion in general. When you have a platform that large, you can't act like the things that you do aren't gonna hurt people or help people. I know you people are aware of how popular you are and the power that you have in these platforms. My issue, and a lot of other people's issues with it, a lot of these POC or Black influencers are pretty problematic. I feel like our representation is not great. I know I am not the only one who feels this way. I did get a few statements and comments from people about how they feel about their interactions with the influencers in this community. Definitely gotta finish this beer before this is over. I have had mixed interactions with POC influencers. As someone newer to the global community of alternative fashion, I frequently find myself seeking out information and experiences from the people in the lifestyle who look like me. Obviously, the rarity of POC influencers in the community is a problem, and one that should be acknowledged regardless. But too many POC influencers get lost in their own hype and chase either whiteness or social capital for clout. They forget where they come from and forget about supporting the community and uplifting them in the first place. As a person of color, you should definitely know how hard it is for people like us to even get that kind of platform. For you to get to the top and to not share the wealth seems very selfish. It does seem like a lot of them do forget where they started or where they come from, because they're the main ones who will bully and cause problems for people they feel like do not belong. When in actuality, everyone can belong to J fashion. Whether you're new, old, young, Black, white, yellow, brown, it doesn't matter. But what does matter is the support that you give these people. Fashion is forever evolving. Fashion changes. And giving newer people, especially Black folk, the support that they need to grow and to change these fashions means everything. Damn, this comment is mad long. With some of the influence I see and hear about, I feel like some people choose who they feel like they want to follow. Certain influencers absolutely do not think they should represent me as a POC. And I'm not a saint, but man, you just know when someone isn't right. There are a lot who are very problematic and shouldn't represent us at all. Though we may have some, we don't have many. and I honestly don't know too many POC influencers, only the ones I've met and the ones a lot of POC know. I really only follow influencers with low followers and the ones I personally know. Influencers like this person I aspire to meet in the J fashion and in everyday life. How they talk to people, how their aura is just wholesome, and I wish a lot of our influencers were more like them. Now, this is the other side of the coin. There are a handful of influencers that are good people, that do support the community, that do support newer people to the fashion, that do lift up other people. And those are the ones we need to boost more into that spotlight so that they can bring the awareness of what is going on with us as a community. Those people with those good auras, with those friendly demeanors, I commend them for staying true to what they believe in, which is supporting Black people in this community and making sure that we are just as represented as any other race. I'm a huge fan of J fashion, primarily styles like Fairy K and Yami Kawaii. As someone who is interested in several J fashion styles, I feel fortunate in having multiple spaces to search for Black influencers and Black big names in the community. My experience have been very mixed. I have met and even been friends with Black J fashion posters and influencers, and I adore seeing dark skin, kinky hair, and froze and beautiful Black features in my favorite styles. But I've also seen a dark side of it. There are some popular Black creators and influencers in the J fashion community that are more interested in using the community as a stepping stone to white acceptance in a larger community. They take advantage of Black spaces to build themselves up, but don't participate unless larger white names are included. I've seen these people berate other Black members of the community or smaller influencers, mocking their contributions and even expressing anti-Blackness sentiments. Now, that being said, like I said, I am not naming specific names, but there are a handful of people that there are tons of people who have seen them, who have been on the receiving end of them showing their anti-Blackness or their bullying and literally harassing smaller influencers or beginners into not being in the fashion anymore. That is not okay. And you know who you are. I can understand you feel threatened, like you worked hard to get to this spot and you aren't gonna give it up easily. We just want the representation and the support that we deserve. For you, someone who looks like me, who claims to support Black Lives Matter, POC issues, I love dark skin, I love my skin. For someone to claim that you are like that and then turn around and bully someone darker than you, bully someone who doesn't know any better to the point that they don't want to participate in this fashion anymore is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And it is completely up to you as a person to admit that you've done these things, to genuinely apologize, and to change. Y'all know who you are. Y'all know what you did. We know what you did. And we know who you are. The internet is a scary place, but it can also be a haven for people. That's all anyone wants, is a safe space to express themselves. The fact that I had to make a video like this just says that that safe space is being threatened. It is being threatened by our own people, by people who look like me, by people who look like you. It's not okay. None of that is okay. Please, be kind to yourself, because only you can make you happy. Good night, everybody.